Throughout the history of the world, there have been great people. People who are great leaders, people who are great at what they do, and we salute them. But behind them is someone else making sure that they do what they're doing. G'day everyone, Brian here. I'm keeping this up today because the theme is the same. You are not alone. In fact, if I could change it, if it fitted on this, I would say you should not be alone. We see that right back in the beginning of the Bible for Adam and then Eve. That's a different story. Here, it's the story of Paul, who's writing a letter to the Philippian church, and Timothy, who he has written this letter with, who sends his greetings also. But now we're introduced to another bloke. His name, you probably don't know anyone by this name. His name is Epaphroditus. What makes him significant? Well, listen to how Paul describes him as he refers to him in this letter. But I think it necessary to send back to you Epaphroditus, my brother, fellow worker, fellow soldier, who is also your messenger, whom you sent to take care of my needs. That's all I'll say today. There's much more about him, but these words are significant, aren't they? Paul describes him as my brother. He'd referred to Timothy as a son in the faith, but now here is Epaphroditus, my brother. Now, if you're a Christian, you will know the name Paul. Paul wrote most of what we have in the New Testament, those letters in the New Testament. But Epaphroditus only gets a mention. You probably hear Paul mentioned a lot in different sermons, but you probably don't hear Epaphroditus mentioned much. But here he is. He's a brother, which means he's an equal to Paul. He is a fellow worker. Neither of these blokes are working on their own. They are fellow workers for the gospel. And then he describes him as a fellow soldier. Now, we might not like this kind of militaristic language in the Bible, but it's there, and we shouldn't shy away from it. And if you look at Anzac Day in Australia and how important that day is, one of the reasons is because of the relationship that soldiers have with each other. A really strong friendship, a bond that binds them together. Paul describes Epaphroditus in this way because they are together serving the gospel. And then this man Epaphroditus becomes a messenger from the church of Philippi to Paul as their messenger to him, to care for Paul, to bring their love to Paul. Epaphroditus is everything we should want to be. A fellow worker, a fellow soldier, a brother, a sister, a messenger. If these things were said of you, wouldn't it be great? So who are you being an Epaphroditus to? Who is your fellow worker? Who is your fellow soldier in the gospel? Have a great day. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.